Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, enters Aquarius December 7th, 2024, where she will be until January 2nd, 2025. A beautiful mind, romantic friendship, avant-garde art, experimental style, unconventional relationships, sex with robots, aesthetic of a revolution. Hello, my name is Eliane Nicole. I'm your astrologer and tarot reader, and in this video, I'm going to talk about what it means when the goddess of love and beauty is traveling through the sign of the water bearer. But first, I want to say, if you're watching this on Instagram, I'm just going to post the first 5 minutes here. The entire video will be available on my YouTube channel, Eliane Nicole. My YouTube channel is my name, Eliane Nicole. Please find me there. I'll put a link in the profile bio of my Instagram to get there. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Please like, please comment, please share. It all helps me in the algorithm, and it helps me grow my channel and my community and my business. It puts me in a position to continue to give these free astrological offerings. If you're watching this on Instagram, please make sure that you're following astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole. Please like, please comment, please share. It is free for you and very helpful to me. And now, without further ado, I am going to talk about Venus in Aquarius. And so Venus is the goddess of love and beauty, and Venus is the planet that governs, romance, relationships, beauty, style, art, justice, money. And so when she's in the sign of Aquarius, we tend to be attracted to the unconventional and, like things that are off the beaten path in all of these areas. Aquarius is the fixed air yang temple of Saturn. This is a Saturn-ruled Venus. Saturn is currently in the sign of Pisces. And so there are some themes of that, but I want to get to that later. I want to talk about Venus in Aquarius in general. Venus in Aquarius is more about a meeting of the mind in relationships. She's more cerebral. So when Venus is traveling through Aquarius, we're attracted to people mentally, possibly more than physically. We're attracted to things that stimulate our mind more than, physical passion, let's say. Venus in Aquarius is really about equality in relationships. It's about romance that is built on the foundation of a solid friendship. It's about enjoying the company of our friends and our community and our social groups, possibly more than being in, focusing on our one-to-one romantic relationships. Again, all of these types of qualities of Venus and Aquarius affect different people in different ways. Venus transits are always going to be more personal to Taurus risings and Libra risings because they are Venus-ruled people. In this case, a Venus and Aquarius transit is going to be kind of more like uplifting and engaging for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and it may be more challenging for Taurus, Scorpio, and Leo. Venus in Aquarius is a very social Venus. Again, she's more about the group and the community than one-on-one interactions. And in general, we might find ourselves attracted to unconventional style, unconventional art, unconventional beauty, um, unconventional relationships while Venus is transiting through the sign of Aquarius. In this case, this year, her ruler, Saturn, happens to be in Pisces. And so there is a little bit of a melancholy around this transit. There is a little bit of some emotional weight, although Venus in Aquarius is normally very detached from her emotions. She's a little bit more aloof. She is, so what I mean by that is it's a time where we may be zooming out when it comes to affairs of the heart and looking at things from a more bird's eye, objective perspective than getting too emotionally caught up in the situation. Yeah, Venus in Aquarius can be very detached and very aloof. The Saturn in Pisces is just kind of strumming the chord of emotional intelligence, emotional boundaries, emotional maturity, and Venus in Aquarius tends to be a little bit divorced from her emotions anyway. And so, yeah, this is a time where we're more intellectualizing the nature of our romantic relationships, our social interactions, in terms of like creative practices. Venus in Aquarius represents more conceptual art or the avant-garde or experimental art. Like, again, it's more like cerebral type of art, you know? And the same, you know, Aquarius is also very futuristic, and Aquarius is always looking at this future ideal. And so we might be drawing up the blueprint of our future ideal in love or romance or design or style or beauty. You know, and then also like in this era that we're in of Pluto having just moved into Aquarius, which is very interesting because the very first aspect Venus makes as she moves into Aquarius is the conjunction with Pluto at 0 degrees Aquarius. And Pluto moved into 0 degrees Aquarius November 19th, marking the beginning of this new 20-year Pluto and Aquarius era. So this is actually the second time Venus is meeting with Pluto at 0 degrees Aquarius. She already did once earlier this year in February. So if you look back to what was going on around February, mid-February 2024, there may be some full circle moments revisited in terms of love, romance, art, beauty, justice. But Venus and Pluto are planting seeds of what love is going to be looking like in this new era of Pluto and Aquarius, what romantic relationships are going to be looking like, what friendships are going to be looking like, what style and aesthetic is going to be looking like on the one hand, and all of that is transforming, and we are just at the very beginning of a very profound transformation around romantic relationships, style, art, beauty. The way things have previously been in the old world around these ideas are going to be completely transformed. You know, what we have looked at as beauty in the past is going to change going forward over this next 20-year arc. What we see as the traditional relationship is going to change going forward. It's not going to be what it's always looked like in the past, and it's going to change in ways that we are not even going to recognize in a few years. And we are just at the very beginning, seedling points of that. So it's really hard for a lot of people to fathom. But what has been perceived, many things that have been perceived as unconventional in the past for relationships, for art, for beauty, for aesthetic and style, is going to become the norm in the Pluto and Aquarius era. Things are going to get very weird. Aquarius is weird. That's one thing I will say about Aquarius. I mean, there's so much I can say. I mean, you know, Venus and Aquarius with relationships, we've already seen that people are having relationships with AI and sex with robots and, you know, more like polyamory and group love and just some different kinds of things. You know, we're going to see people getting married because of friendship over romantic love, like all of these kinds of like Venus and Aquarius things. The seeds are being planted for a whole new way that we're going to be approaching marriage and romance and relationships and beauty and style going forward. We're entering an era where there's going, like, non-conformity is going to be more normal. People expressing themselves with style and beauty in more unique and different ways. Gosh, what else do I want to say? I feel like I'm a little all over the place, but I just need to do the video and get it done. Let's see. So I want to talk about some of the aspects that Venus is making. So I talked a little bit about the aspect of Pluto, but she's also conjoining Ceres. And so there are some darker themes happening. I mean, Venus and Pluto, aside from planting the seeds of where things are going and how the world is transforming, in the immediate, you know, so there's that one level of planting these futuristic seeds that are going to grow and bloom, and it's a very slow process. But then there's also the here and now, and Venus conjoining Pluto in the here and now can result in some darker themes around women, sisters, daughter, love, romance. You know, Pluto is god of the underworld and Venus is the goddess of love and beauty. And so there is a sense of, like, you know, the beauty and the beast. There is a sense of, you know, power struggles in love and romance. There can be darker themes like grief or fear, domination, abuse. Venus is also conjunct Ceres, and Ceres is Demeter. And so this Ceres Venus Pluto conjunction at the beginning of Aquarius really is very very specific and very distinct in terms of the myth of Demeter and Persephone. And the goddess Demeter, her beautiful daughter Persephone, was kidnapped by Pluto, Hades, god of the underworld. And he took her down into the underworld. And Demeter was so mad that she made the upper world, she made the earth barren of crops, and so she and Hades eventually struck a deal where her daughter could come back to her for 6 months of the year, and that's when it's like spring and summer, and we have flowers and crops and fruits and everything, and then she goes down to the underworld for 6 months of the year with Hades. And so basically, this brings up themes of abduction, kidnapping, rejection, loss, abandonment, separation. So these can be themes that are coming up for people who have, particularly people who have planets in the early degrees of the fixed signs like Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, during this transit that Venus is conjoining Ceres and Pluto. So those are definitely some darker themes that may come up. You know, everyone experiences the transits differently depending on your own personal astrology, but that is the dark side of this transit. You know, Venus Pluto conjunctions can bring up violence against women, rape, murder, you know, these very darker themes. Pluto makes us face our fears, our insecurities, our grief. And when we're dealing with Venus, this can have to do with women, you know, daughters, sisters. But it can also have to do more with art or the aesthetic. And if it's not, it can be the art we're attracted to, the movies we're watching, the books we're reading, you know, the music, the kind of the vibe of the music that we're listening to or playing, or as artists, what we're creating right now. And so there's always a spectrum that these transits represent. And then I want to go on. Venus, the next transit is Venus trine the South Node on December 10th. And so Venus trining the South Node in Libra, Venus in Aquarius, again, she is the intellect. So she is thinking about her romance and her love and her style and her art, and she's creating the ideal blueprint of the future. And as she's doing that, she is gladly letting go of certain things. About maybe she's letting go of certain relationships, maybe she's letting go of clothes in her closet that are no longer her style, maybe she's letting go of furniture that isn't anymore in the aesthetic of the design she wants to have around her. Like, you know, so yeah, December 10th, there is a letting go around Libra stuff. You know, maybe there is art that you're gladly parting with. There are, you know, again, clothes in your wardrobe you're gladly getting rid of. Maybe there are relationships that you're gladly severing ties with. And at the same time, there's a sextile to the North Node in Aries, which is, you know, an opportunity to align with your new North Star, with your new direction in life that's going to come into play in a much brighter, more emphatic way in 2025. But there is like this releasing that's going on, and at the same time as aligning with this new direction that's quickly approaching. And on December 12th, Venus is sextile Mercury. This is beautiful words, beautiful thoughts, beautiful ideas. This is love letters. This is poetry. This is, you know, very intellectually stimulating conversations. This is just beautiful concepts. I feel like I'm not being so articulate right now, but I'm not going to judge myself. I'm going to keep going. But yeah, the Venus-Mercury sextile can be uplifting conversations. I mean, it's a sextile, so it's like, you know, it can be writing, great aspect for writers. Yeah, on December 19th, Venus is trine Jupiter. This is very optimistic and expansive energy. This is really good luck that's happening. This is presenting great opportunities for growth, expansion, beauty, love, ideas. On December 23rd, Venus is sextile Chiron. This is healing through community, healing through groups or organizations that we're a part of, you know, friendships, being around our friends, and what else? It can also bring things like there is an opportunity for forgiveness, for apologies, for amends being made. On December 28th, Venus is squaring Uranus. So this can bring up restlessness. It can bring up breakups or breakthroughs in love. It's definitely could be a stress test for relationships, an unexpected plot twist, Someone's wanting their freedom, somebody's wanting liberation. That kind of thing can happen. For strong, obviously, relationships, it'll just be a level up moment. But for relationships that are teetering, it could be a breaking point. These are really great creative aspects for artists, but it does present challenges that are coming out of nowhere for the artists that they have to then respond to very creatively. And it can actually make the art a lot better, even though initially it seems like a big problem. Oh, and that reminds me, how did I leave out the opposition with Mars? Venus is opposing Mars almost as soon as she comes into Aquarius. The opposition, Mars is stationing as Venus enters Aquarius. Mars is stationing to go backwards. Mars is our desire and our passion and how we go for those desires. It's our libido, it's our sex drive. Mars in Leo wants to follow his heart, but because he's going backwards, there may be a change of heart, a change of desire. Mars and Venus opposing each other. It's like the tango in love. It's like, there's a tug of war in love. It can create really major sparks and, Venus and Mars are the cosmic lovers. They're always chasing each other around in the sky. So it can be this cat and mouse, I love you, I hate you. It can create very passionate sparks and chemistry in the bedroom, but it can also create drama and fighting and jealousy and power struggles and intrigue. So the Venus-Mars opposition can go either way. It's interesting because Mars is going retrograde in Leo. So it does feel like there's a change in direction, about face, and a change of heart that can be coming in love. Venus has her blueprint. She has her ideal for the future. And Mars may be shifting directions in what his attractions or what his desires are. And so this is definitely a, boy versus girl in the world series of love. But I don't know. These are just some of the things that I wanted to touch on in terms of the Venus and Venus going through Aquarius. The exact date of the opposition with Mars is... Where's the exact date of the opposition with Mars? Gosh, I can't find it right now, and I don't want to waste my time on the video looking for it, but it's pretty much as soon as she enters, they are opposing each other. And so if you want to know how Venus is moving through your chart and how it's aspecting your personal planets, contact me for a reading. I read on Zoom, so I can read for people anywhere in the country and anywhere in the world. December 12th is the exact date of the Venus-Mars opposition. I read on Zoom. I would love to read for you. We're also in the holiday season, so it's a great time to get somebody the gift of a reading. I make really cute gift certificates. And, also we're in Sagittarius season, so you can get your favorite Sagittarius the gift of a reading for their birthday. Next up is Capricorn season. You can get your favorite Capricorn the gift of a reading for their birthday. And, thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful Venus in Aquarius. Bye now.